Good morning, Active Club. Happy Thursday. Welcome. My name is Lihi. We're going to do a little bit of restorative yoga, a little restorative flow. There will be some movement and just a way to really drop into the body, a way to use the breath, to move with intention and move with spaciousness. We spend so much of our days really activating and doing, and this will be an invitation to kind of slow it down and to give yourself space to move in a way that might be less active. I mean, we are Active Club, but Active Club also needs, time for a bit of rest and a bit of space. And so that's what we're going to do. This is my last live with Viore for now. We got to really do this for the last few Thursdays, which was very sweet. And looking forward to this short practice. So we'll practice about 30 minutes, restore yoga, restore flow yoga, a little mix of things, little mixed modality, but primarily just working on that. My name is Lihi, it's Lihi. All right, my friends. Go ahead and find your little space to be, whatever that might look like. You can use a mat. You don't need a mat. I'm not using a mat. I'm just here on the floor. If you have any props, if you have a block, if you have pillows, anything that you want to kind of bring over so that you can feel really supported, we'll use that. So I'm going to go back to my space over there, and we're just going to begin seated. So let's go ahead and find a comfortable seat. All the way back right here and just find your seat. And it's morning time here. I'm tuning in from LA, from California, so feeling a bit cozy. But find your kind of place to land and take a deep breath in and empty it out, let it go. And again, breath in, fill it up. And empty it out, let it go. One more like that, fill it up. Empty it out, let it go. Let's begin to draw some circles, really gentle circles in your ribs, in your shoulders, in your head, in your neck, just awakening the body, even if it's evening time, afternoon time, just opening the body up with movement, really subtle movement. And see if you can really tune in, really tuning into this body, to your body, to what might feel kind of stuck or stagnant or tight. This invitation this morning, this practice, is to really slow it all down. Switch directions in the movement. So when it comes to rest and slowing down, I've noticed that society really teaches us that we really only are worthy of, say, rest or slowing down once we get all the things done, right? Like, at the end of the day, or even in the morning, whatever it is, like, do we have time to slow it down? Do we have time to rest? And what I believe is that rest is a necessity. Slowing down is a necessity. Let's go ahead and pause. We'll do a bit of seated cat-cow. Lengthen, round, and so where society might tell us that rest is a reward for doing, like we get to rest, we get to slow down, we get to nourish ourselves in that way once we get this done or complete. I'd love for us to reframe that, to really allow ourselves to know that we are worthy of resting, of slowing it down, of creating space for ourselves, for breath, for practice, for slow movement. This practice is just as important as a really active power yoga or, you know, a fitness class, also important. Active Clev, we can fully encompass all of it. We need rest and recovery. And that's what we're here to do. Create a little bit of accessibility within our own bodies. And so just awakening with this movement. And let's go ahead and interlace the fingers. Bring your palms forward and round the back body. And then lengthen, reach up, gaze up. And then again, round in, curl in, arch the spine, rounding back and forth. And see where you might be able to soften. Soften in the forehead, soften in the jaw, even as we're finding movement here. Beautiful. Keep the arms up, bend the elbows, release the hands down. I'm going to roll the shoulders back a bit and go ahead and tuck the chin in. And then take your left ear and let it fall over towards the left shoulder. Left hand onto that right ear. Open that right side of the neck. Relax the face, relax the jaw. A little bit of space right here in that right side of the neck. We store a lot of tension, a lot of stress, all of our to-do list, all of our shoulds, all in the shoulders, all in the neck. So creating a little bit of space here. And then imagine this whole right side here is a canvas. And that right hand is a paintbrush. And you're just going to begin to paint and move and explore with movement, with the hand, with the arm, with the elbow. And so using mobility, using movement to find depth in your stretch. I like to really explore kind of different places, different areas, kind of going forward and back, up and down. And notice if you're clenching in the jaw and the forehead. See if you can continue to soften. And then release that right hand down with the head. Left hand down, right ear towards the right shoulder. Oh yeah, feels good. Soften that left shoulder. Great space here. Right hand to that left ear. Open up right here on the left side. And begin to draw. The arm with the elbow. Paint, explore, open. Breaths. And then go ahead and release that right hand too. Tuck the chin underneath, interlace the fingers, bring the palms behind the head, let the elbows get heavy here. So tucking the chin in, really creating some space here in the back of the neck, space for stretch. Go ahead and lift the head. Keep the interlace behind the head. Point the elbows out wide. Lift the chest, arch the spine. And then exhale, round in. And then again, inhale up, expand, lengthen. And then exhale, round in. And one more like that, lengthen. And round in. And then right back up. Reach the arms up, interlace, and then bend the elbows, release down. And let's go ahead and find our tabletop, our hands on our knees. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Begin to move through cat-cow. Drop the belly, open the chest, inhale. Exhale, round in. And then some circles with the ribs. So just mimicking, echoing what we did seated, but just here in your tabletop. So just letting yourself explore movement, subtle movement, a little bit of a wag of the tail. That tends to feel really good to release the low back, side to side. worthy of slowing down. We need it. Slowing down to access and tune in and really find our own breath, our own nourishment. Let's go ahead and tuck the toes underneath. It's going to be a really gentle down dog. This is a gentle practice. We're lifting the hips, and then you're going to walk your hands back so you're in a forward fold. And in that forward fold, feel free to bend the knees a lot. Hold on to your elbows, hold on to your forearms. Just let yourself really sway side to side. Sway side to side, really releasing the head, releasing the neck. And then releasing the hands down, you're going to fall and sway over to your left foot. And really slowly, one vertebra at a time, you're going to come up right here, up the side. Really slowly. Yeah, it's getting into the side bodies. When you come up, roll that shoulder back. And then you're going to fall down the other side. Just really slowly waterfall down this side. And then again here, slowly coming up. Roll the shoulder back. And gently fall down. And then halfway lift. And exhale, fold in. And then just back through center, you're going to ragdoll all the way up to stand. One vertebra at a time, they stack above each other, and then find your standing posture right here, mountain pose, a little bend in the knees, feet planted down, just begin to roll the shoulders back. Shoulders back. So a little bit of movement, we're going to reach the arms out wide and take the fingers to the tips of the shoulders. Take a bend in the knees and begin to move side to side here. Elbows pointing forward and back, side to side. Trying to keep the hip points forward so that we're creating some mobility here in the side bodies, in the front body, in the back body. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and pause. Take a deep breath in, fill it up. And empty it out, let it go. Reach the arms out wide and up. And then fold in, fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and go ahead and step back into the downward dog. And then drop your knees down, bring your hips back, find a child's pose. And in your child's pose, allow for the knees to be a little bit wider than your hips. And just finding that child's pose here. Let the forehead rest down onto the ground, onto the mat, or onto a block or a pillow if you have, just so that it's rooted. Take a deep breath in. Empty it out. And a little bit of a sway kind of side to side with your hips. That feels really good. Again, releasing the low back. So much is held in the back body. So a little bit of a sway side to side. Your hands back towards your knees, so finding your seat where you're sitting on your shins and on your knees like this. Okay? If you have a block, if you have something that you want to sit on, feel free, but again, it's not required. Go ahead and find your seat on your shins, on your knees. What you'll do is you'll take your hands, they're going to go back behind you, lift the chest, gaze up. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you'll bring your hands in front of you and round it. And we'll do this back and forth. So it's a variation of cat-cow. Hips come back, hands come back, lift, expand. hands in front, rounded. Back and forth, hips back, hands back, lengthen, arch, back and forth. So we're really just mimicking this cat-cow expression in the whole body in various ways, which is a dance of expansion and contraction. The inhale and the exhale, the rise and the fall, the opening and the closing. Finding movement, finding mobility, so that we can create spaciousness in our own body, spaciousness in our own mind, spaciousness in our own heart. Let's go ahead and just find your seat. You're on your shins, on your knees, hands onto your thighs, elbows heavy, shoulders heavy. Take a deep breath in. Empty it out, let it go. Again, breath in, fill it up. Empty it out, let it go. Go ahead and take your hands in front of you. Lift your right leg. And then hug your knee in and step the foot in between the hands so you're in a low lunge. Okay? I'll come back so you can see. You're in a low lunge, and in this low lunge, it's going to sink in. Maybe your hands come to your hips or to the heart. A little sinking forward and back. Forward and back. Maybe little circles getting into the ankle. Just lubricating the hips here. Switching directions. Pause. Now take your right hand, bring it down outside your right hip, maybe onto a block. Reach your left arm up and towards the right. Take a deep breath in. Empty it out, let it go. Again, breath in, fill it up. Empty it out. Up, bring your hands down in front. Let's heel toe that right foot towards the left wrist. Drop your right shin, drop your right knee down. Find a half pigeon pose. And in the pigeon, before we begin to fall forward and rest forward, do that movement. We find movement so that we can find space. We find movement so that we can deepen in the stretch. Walk your hands forward. And just let yourself be. Maybe block or pillow or anything underneath the forehead. Maybe a blanket or something underneath that right hip. Can you invite a bit of movement here? Can you invite a bit of breath? Side to side. A slow movement, a slow expression. And then go ahead and pause. Begin to walk your hands back towards your knees. Shift into your right hip. Take your left leg in front of you. You'll take your left foot outside of that right thigh. That right knee is still bent. Take your left hand back behind you. Reach your right arm up. Deep breath in. And then hook that right upper arm outside that left thigh and twist, rotate over towards the left. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Take a deep breath in. Empty it out. And then back through center. You'll counter twist over to the right. Take your hand outside of the right. Begin to fold in. And then back through center. You'll swing your left leg behind you. You'll plant your hands, find your tabletop, hands and knees. I'm going to draw these big circles with the hips. Big circles like this. switching directions. And pause. Take a deep breath in. Empty it out. Let's lift now this left leg. Hug the knee in. Release your left shin and left knee down. And to walk your right knee back. Half pigeon on the other side. Now this side might look different. It might feel different. Gonna rock side to side. Shifting forward and back. A movement in your left hip. A movement in your left ankle, your right knee. If you need any support underneath this right side here, feel free. Begin to slowly settle in, fold forward into your half pigeon. So continuously accessing different parts of the body that you might be able to soften. Where can you soften? So much of our body is tense and clenching and doing and activating. Where can you continue to soften? Where can you allow for rest in the body, even if there's effort, even if there's doing? So it's meeting the doing with the being, with the present moment. Letting practice, letting stillness, letting really this practice of slowing down of yoga, these moments of restoration, to really remind us that we are worthy of rest. We are worthy of rest and worthy of slowing down. Take a deep breath in and empty out. Gently coming up, shifting the weight into your left hip. Then bring your right leg in front. Bend that right knee. Plant that right foot outside that left thigh. And then take your right hand back behind you. Reach your left arm up. Take your left upper arm outside that right thigh. Twist. Rotate to the back. Take a deep breath in. Empty it out. Back from center, bring your hands over to the left. Find that cover twist. And then bring yourself up. Just take the soles of the feet together, the knees open wide. And here, we'll come back to these circles. Circles here, circles in the shoulders, in the head. Ribs. Switching directions. Now let you take your hands outside of your knees, let your knees come into touch. Extend your heels forward so the legs are straight. And then reach the arms up, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, fold forward. And we'll do that 2 more times. As you inhale, find a little bit of length, and then exhale, fold in. 1 more like that, inhale, and exhale, fold it in. Now see if you can soften the shoulders. And that this fold is really not about getting closer to the ground, leading with the forehead, right? Leading with the ego. But we're actually wanting to lead with the chest, wanting to lead with the heart, leading with compassion versus the ego. It's about rest, it's about space, it's about calming the fluctuations that exist within the mind, the distractions, and really just arriving into the body. What's powerful about the body is that the body is always here. The body is present. The mind is in the past or in the future. The heart is somewhere in between both. So can we find ways where we allow for the mind to drop into the present moment to meet the body? And the breath is the pathway to get there. Bringing yourself up. Go ahead and come onto your backs if you'd like. If you have the space to come onto your back. Come all the way onto your back, and you'll hug your right knee in. You'll begin to draw circles with your right knee. Okay, so circles with your right knee. And then you'll take your right knee with your left hand and you're gonna cross it over the body. So you're in a little bit of a twist here. So left hand onto that right knee, cross over the body, gaze over to the right. And let's take a deep breath in. Fill it up as you're in that twist. Empty it out. Again, breath in, fill it up. Empty it out, let it go. And then go ahead and grab onto the other knee. And you'll straighten out that right leg, hug that left knee in, circles, and then cross over to the other side. So left knee crosses over to the right. Find that twist, gaze to the left, deep breath in here. Empty it out. And then hug both of your knees in. And up to you. If you want to close out this practice, staying on your back or coming to your seat, we're going to do a little breath practice to close out, to really bring ourselves into balance, to meet the mind and the body, to let the breath be the pathway into presence. So either on your seat or on your back, finding rest. On your seat, there can be rest. Yeah. Maybe you sit on a block if you're seated. On your back, maybe you bring a pillow underneath your knees. To just find some way that you feel supported and restful. We're going to take a deep breath into the belly through the nose. And then a second sharp breath up the nose. And then let it go out the mouth. This is called the physiological sigh. We're going to do it again into the belly. Up into the chest. And then out. Really calming the nervous system. Another deep breath in, fill it up. Second sharp breath up. Let it go. Really working with the parasympathetic nervous system. Rest and digest. Slowing it all down. And here, just coming back to your natural breath. Breathing in and out of your nose. You are worthy of rest. You are worthy of spaciousness. Rest, slowing down, taking things slow is not a reward. It is a necessity. And the more we put it in the category of reward, the less worthy we feel in relationship to it. And so really making sure that we tend to ourselves with stillness, with rest, with slowing things down. With honoring our breath, honoring our body, honoring the heart. Knowing that slowing down can sometimes even be harder. It can even be harder than a more active class. And that is because we really have to sit. We really have to be with what is present in our own body and create space for it. And so with that, 3 deep breaths. Breath in through the nose. Empty it out. Again, breath in. Let it go. One more deep breath in. release it out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your practice, your presence, for tuning in from wherever you're tuning in from. Again, my name is Lihi. This is my last live of the month. I'm sure there's a great crew coming in for next time, but definitely stay in contact if you're interested. But yeah, this will be on the feed, so you can always come back to this practice. But thanks, Fiore fam. Thanks, Active Club. An honor to practice and be with you all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. If there's anything I want you to go away with, rest is a necessity, not a reward. We deserve it. You are worthy of it. Thank you so much. Fiore knows it best. They taught me a lot about that in our trip recently. So grateful so much. Thank you for being here. See you soon.